The Joe Rogan Experience.
Joe, I'm sorry to I thought I had all these questions for you, man. I was like, that's lame to ask somebody questions on their show, and it's not in the moment like we often do. But I really do. I know you've probably been talking about it, but I wanted to hear your take on deep fake, because that fucking deep fake of you really bothered me. It set off a whole series of thoughts in my head that of all the futuristic shit, that freaks me out the most.
Well, for someone like you or someone like me, it's easy for them to do it because they basically got a library of all the sounds that we can make with our mouth. And so they put it in a database, and then they can get you to say words you've never said before in an order that you've never said them before, in a way that you can kind of distinguish. For now, I kind of can hear that it's fake, but it was me talking about sponsoring a hockey team filled with all chimpanzees.
Yeah.
And teaching chimps to play hockey, which sounds exactly like something I would do. And it's close. I mean, they had one a few years ago that they did with Ronald Reagan, where they had a fake speech. And this was way, way before the internet. And someone had pieced together a fake collaboration of a bunch of different Ronald Reagan speeches and then used them with sound editing and turned it into a whole statement that he never gave before. And then the White House went on television and showed how they did it and showed on the news all the different speeches that they pulled from and the actual sentences where they pulled from. They showed it to you. So there could be no denying someone, I forget what it was. Maybe it was the Russians. Was it the Russians?
Of course.
Someone had done that. But I don't know. I don't know who did it. I don't remember. But it was interesting because I was like, oh, wow, they can do that? But I thought, think about how many times Ronald Reagan has given speeches. You just listen, someone with painstaking detail, mark down all the words in those speeches, put them all in some sort of a multi-loop. Because it's, you have to go to Phil Spector's house. They have the old school reel-to-reel sound recorders, and piece that shit together and splice it up, and then release it. Pretend that Ronald Reagan is trying to start a war with Iran or something like that.
Yeah, man.
I forget what it was. Do you remember the premise?
No, I don't remember the premise of that, but
Do you remember the recording?
I kind of remember it, but it's a foggy memory, man.
It's pretty wild.
But this is to me, fuck the sun and all the things to worry about. This shit is really intense, man.
Mm-hmm.
About the hostage, the fucking weird hostage phone thing people are doing, where they're you get a phone call from the phone number of your wife, and you answer it, and it's we've kidnapped your wife. It's someone freaking out in the background. They're send us money or she's fucked. And they've been, right now what they've been doing is they've been, someone will say, let me talk to her. And they just hand it to some lady who's like, oh, and you think, oh my God, it's her. I'll give you whatever you want. People have been sending them money, And when you consider what happens when deep fake technology intersects with just the ability to call people from spoofed numbers, and that suddenly if someone gets your phone number list, they're going to be able to call your friends as you and record conversations where as they sort of dredge up, who knows, whatever they want. Maybe they want to blackmail you. Maybe they want to get money. Maybe they want to embarrass you. That to me is so spectacularly fucking weird that we're going to end up having to have passwords that we tell each other away from our Alexas, which is listen, if I call you and I'm seeming strange, the password is go for 69. Otherwise, it's not me, you know? Because that's a reality. I mean, just look at what people are already fucking doing with spoofing numbers. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up, man. And that aspect of it, and also just supply and demand. Mm-hmm. In other words, there's one Joe Rogan, right now. But if an AI starts duplicating you and improving on you, and I'm saying, 5 or 10 years, no offense, man, but maybe an AI could turn you twice as smart, make you whatever, who knows what. And then suddenly you're no longer in demand in the sense that once the Joe Rogan AI package goes on the dark web or makes its way into wherever, people are going to just be able to download you and have conversations with you and make video. That to me is one of the most bizarre realities that we are entering into is one where you're going to go on YouTube and there's going to be a video of you, looks like you, sounds like you, but it's like 50 times funnier than you, 50 times cooler than you, 50 times smarter than you, because it's an AI pulling from the internet. It's just you, but better. And no one's going to want to watch you anymore because they're like, I love the real Rogan, but I want to watch the Rogan whose brain is functioning 50 times the speed of a normal human brain because that guy, wow.
That's how they're going to take over.
Well,
They're
right.
make us all obsolete.
Yeah.
Better versions of all of us. They're going to be like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. And that's not, I mean, let's say it's 20 years away. That's still too fucking
Let's say
soon.
it's 100. Let's go crazy.
Yeah, we're going to be basically like sort of drowned out by multiple versions of ourselves with exponential intelligence.
Well, that was my concern when I was talking to Kurzweil about downloading your consciousness into a computer. I'm like, what's to stop you from making multiple copies? If you can make one copy, like what's to stop you from being like, tell me some fat guy with a little dick who's a real asshole wouldn't hack into the system and infest it with copies of him.
Yeah,
that just overwhelms everyone else's data, where he is omnipotent and he is literally the ruler of the realm that he exists in.
Yeah.
Because he's figured out how to hack into the grid and take over. Imagine you think you're going to be in heaven. You're going to enter into this virtual reality, but look, you're going to get to fly dragons and have sex with beautiful women and eat fruit. And this fat guy with a little dick, he hacks the system, and then everybody's going to suck his dick. And everywhere you go is a version of him that's trying to get you to suck his dick. Come on.
Yeah.
He's fucking people's ears. He's holding people down. 5, 6 of them on a person. Blah, just fucking you from every angle. Blah. That's what he created. And that's what a computer virus is.
Sure.
It's fucking everybody, right? If you think about that, there's a lot of viruses. I don't know, like what percentage of viruses, Jamie, you would know this, are not financially motivated. There's got to be some viruses that people create just to fuck people.
Sure.
Right?
In the old days, for sure, man. I mean, I think, they were just there to fuck up freeze your computer, people. Fuck up your, they weren't grabbing data to use it against you. They were just like, shutting your computer down to be a dick.
Yeah.
Or making it say weird things. Like, real basic. The old viruses in the days of AOL, remember those, man? They were cool. They were like scary, but not like today where they like shut down the power grid until you send somebody $1 million worth of Bitcoin.
Or you have to completely remap your hard drive, completely re-upload your operating system. It just kills. The only way, you got to kill the operating system, swipe it clean, start from scratch. Sorry, it's all cooked.
Yeah.
All your work, fuck off.
Gone, man.
Just like this fat guy with a little dick.
Fat guy with a little
everybody. Hundreds of them. Like a sea of them running at you, pulling on their half-hard dicks.
There's a story going around this weekend about Samsung TVs having viruses in them and you being able to scan it for a virus. There's like a program on it that allows you to scan for viruses. And then I guess today Samsung deleted that tweet.
Oh, great.
And people were pointing back to this being like the Weeping Angel program where the CIA can use your TV to listen to your conversations. And they are doing that and they're recording it.
Weeping Angel. What a great name. Why doesn't the CIA start naming the fucking Navy UFOs Weeping Angel? Why do they call it that?
Why do they call it
What
that?
is that? That's why do they have to bring angels? Is that Satan? Is Satan a weeping angel? Is that what they're saying? Like, what the fuck is that? Weeping angel. That's weird, man. That's fucking weird. But like, the implication that they, in your deep fake that they sent out to the world was it already happened. They're like, how do you know this hasn't already happened? In other words, like, how do we know we're not duplicates? How do we know we're not one of an infinite number, an array of like, versions of us that are being populated all over some server somewhere?
Could be. Well, that's the thing about the simulation theories, that one day if things keep going the way they are, like I was going to bring this up when we were talking about people like looking at cities and looking at the grids and looking at the hive. Like, what are these cities doing? Well, they're spreading and they're being productive. They're making things and they're making better things all the time. Well, if they're making better things all the time, like what are they interested in? Well, they're interested in computers and CGI and artificial intelligence and artificial life, and they're all definitely moving in some sort of a greater technological dependency. Like we're pretty dependent now, but it's going to get greater and greater, right?
Yeah.
We get more and more. Well, one day they're going to have a reality that isn't tangible in the sense that without this system, you wouldn't be able to experience it. But it will be a reality once you're in the system. Once you're in the system, you will feel your elbows on the oak desk.
Yeah.
You will feel the sweat on your palms. You'll feel the sunglasses on your nose. You'll feel all those things.
Yeah.
So who's to say that that's not real? Well, if that can happen one day, if they can create an artificial reality that you cannot discern from the reality that you're currently experiencing, how do you know it hasn't already happened?
Right.
You don't. You don't. And, some super fucking smart people think that we should keep open the possibility that that is what we're operating under, or that the stability and the rigidity of the dimension that we exist in is not nearly as firm and not nearly as permanent as we like to think it is.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why psychedelics is so exciting. And so they're transformative, but they're valuable, but they illuminate the possibility of others, of other things, other dimensions, other life forms, other levels of consciousness, other ways of interacting with each other, like especially mushroom. Well, kind of all of them. All of them, that when you take like a transformative dose, you experience some weird thing where you're like, oh, this is possible too. Like this is like a whole nother way of existing. Like, who's to say that if human neurochemistry, right, if that's what's causing depression and elation and dopamine and serotonin and all these different wonderful things, it's what causes melatonin and all these different things that happen when you're sleeping, and then the psychedelic ones like the DMT. Who's to say that we have to exist with this mixture, right? Who's to say that life with a thicker mixture isn't also possible and might be going on around us all the time? Like there might be these porous sort of entryways into these other dimensions that are consistently opened and closed, and they're constantly around us all the time. But when we're just in straight normal consciousness that we experience without perturbing it with alcohol or pot or psychedelics, we want to think that this is reality. This is rigid. This is it. But maybe it's a reality. Maybe there's a fuckload of them. Maybe when you make decisions, you enter into different ones. Maybe you're constantly shifting the one that's around you and how you interact with people.
You mean like your decisions are the way you navigate through the multiverse?
It's entirely possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Even though I say that too many times.
Well,
but it is a thing if you just think about how little we understand about consciousness, about what happens when you die, what happens when you sleep, how little we know about what is going on when you're communicating with people, what is going on when you're interacting with people, where are these fucking ideas coming from?
Yeah.
Are these ideas little life forms in a non-observed state?
Yeah, man.
Bro, you taking off the glasses? You getting crazy?
I just realized I don't get to look at your beautiful eyes, Joe.
I was enjoying this. We did it for hours.